Meeting of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville. Pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene a regular meeting on Tuesday, May the 6th, 2014, at 6 p.m. in the Commission Chambers on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for the many blessings you've blessed us with. First of all, Lord, we thank you for the beautiful way you're bringing people together in unity to pray to you and to worship you here in Brownsville and across the nation. Lord, I ask you for a special blessing on the mayor and commissioners here this evening, as they look to you, as all of us look to you for your direction for this city. Lord, I ask you to continue drawing us together in unity, destroying any ideas that are not from you, and magnifying the ideas that are from you. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Also wanted to mention National Day of Prayer was a great event. 1,000 to 2,000 people from all different churches coming together in Sam Stadium just to worship God and pray for our nation, the state, and city. So
Good work.
thank you. And it wasn't necessarily me. I was just one of the many. I was not the one that put in all the hours. So Esther Rodriguez, Minerva Pena, and then several other pastors. So
Well, good.
thank you.
Thank you. I have no
Mayor's report, no
I have
report.
nothing.
Commissioners?
I just have a really quick report. I've been working closely with Juan Rodriguez at UTB, and the good news is that they will be funding 5 internship positions for the city of Brownsville for the months of June and July. So we will have 5 university students working closely with city staff, and they will be paid internships. We're really excited about that.
That's good work. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I had a real quick announcement, and we're going to ask different parts of the community, but not everybody, because we're trying to keep it a small project. But our Southmost Library is already 10 years old, and it's time for us to upgrade on computers, and times have been tough with money. So currently I'm in the process with Jerry Hedgecock and members of the Library Foundation in setting up a fundraiser, in which we're going to have, the typical, the dinner, the drinks, and all that good stuff, to be able to raise money so that we can restock our library with brand new computers. And that's going to be something, we're going to start it off as a community outreach project there with the business owners and all the people from the community. And of course, anybody that wants to join us, but Southmost Library has been a blessing to the people of my community and to our community over the last 10 years. And we're in desperate need right now for new systems of the computers, and we're lacking money. So I've taken it upon myself with Jerry to spearhead an event, and so we'll be reaching out to certain members. And of course, anybody that wants to help out, we kindly appreciate any gesture of love that you could give us at the library. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I just have one real quick announcement. I just wanted to let everybody know our traffic department has synchronized the lights on 4 corners, Owens, and I believe Billy Mitchell. So anybody who rides through Boca Chica will notice a significant difference in your time of traveling. And just shout out to our traffic department for handling that very important task. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Number 3, unless anybody else, I'm sorry.
Item number 3, Mental Health Month from the Veterans Memorial High School students. If you please step up.
Why don't y'all come on up
Over
here?
here, please.
Charlie, there you go. Have these young ladies come
Stand
up
right
here.
in front of the commission, facing the audience, please.
come right here. Why don't you step right there? The one in the flag gets to be in the middle, okay? There you go.
Okay. A proclamation of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville designating the month of May 2014 as Mental Health Awareness Month in our city. Whereas since 1949, May has been observed as National Mental Health Awareness Month, a time when advocates and activists across the country draw attention to the mental health issues that affect as many as 1 in 4 Americans. And today, more people die from suicide in the United States than from traffic accidents, and we lose 25 soldiers to suicide for every 1 soldier lost in combat. And whereas HOSA, Health Occupation Students of America, future healthcare professional students from Veterans Memorial High School, Vivi Nguyen, Elena Rios, Abigail Lucio, Jacqueline Alford, Erika Vega, and Grecia Nino have launched a campaign to raise awareness about mental illness, such as anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, and bipolar disorders, and draws attention to suicide, which may be precipitated by some mental illness. The campaign also educates communities about these disorders and reduces the stigma that surrounds them. And whereas, because of the stigma associated with mental illness, many people are too ashamed or embarrassed to seek the help they need for themselves or their loved ones. National Mental Health Awareness Month is a time to work together to break through that stigma, to express compassion for those who struggle with mental health issues, and to draw attention to proven methods that can help change their lives for the better. And whereas Veterans Memorial School HOSA students have created a public service announcement that will be aired on KBSD TV, have delivered presentations about mental health, organized a balloon launch, and are currently working on a children's book. Now, therefore, we, the member of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by authority vested by the Charter of said city, do hereby designate the month of May 2014 to be National Mental Health Awareness Month in our city, and further commend Veterans Memorial High School students Vivi Nguyen, Elena Rios, Abigail Lucio, Jacqueline Alford, Erika Vega, and Grecia Nino for reminding us to be there for someone, listen to someone, and encourage someone to seek help. Done on this, the 6th day of May, 2014. Antonio Martinez, Mayor, and City Commissioners.
Our next proclamation is the Drinking Water Month from PUB.
Good evening.
Could we go ahead and read the proclamation out loud first?
Thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner?
Sure. The proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, designating the month of May 2014 as Drinking Water Month. Whereas human health is dependent upon an abundant supply of pure, clean drinking water, and whereas public safety, quality, and abundance of water can only be safeguarded by sound environmental protection, appropriate treatment, and properly maintained treatment facilities and distribution systems. And whereas all citizens of Brownsville are also indirect stewards of the water infrastructure which future generations depend upon. And whereas each citizen of our community is called upon to help protect our source waters from pollution, to practice water conservation, and to get involved in local water issues. And whereas federal, state, local governments, as well as concerned organizations, are cognizant and supportive and in supportive of measures which promote safe, clean, and a reliable source of water. And whereas one such measure involves heightening public awareness of the value of drinking water resources and encouraging the public to promote this awareness. And whereas the City of Brownsville, Texas, along with the Brownsville Public Utilities Board, or BPUB, hereby proclaim that May 2014 shall be known as Drinking Water Month. Now therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, by virtue of authority vested by the Charter of said city, and on behalf of all our citizens, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2014 to be Drinking Water Month in our city. Done on this, the 6th day of May 2014, signed Antonio Martinez, Mayor, and the City Commission.
Mayor, Commissioner, if you would indulge me, I have a few words to say about Drinking Water Month. First of all, thank you for letting Brownsville PUB come before you and before the citizens of Brownsville. My name is Alicia Warner. I am the Communications and Public Relations Manager for Brownsville Public Utilities Board. Before I go any further, I want to say a sincere thanks to the commissioners who came to our Cemetery Resaca event, and city staff who recently helped us out with a big Army Corps of Engineers meeting that we had. Your help is very appreciated. Thank you so much. I'm going to get right to it because I know you probably have a very full agenda. Tonight I'm here to share an annual initiative with you that Brownsville PUB has. It is Drinking Water Month, and BPUB believes it's very important for the future of Brownsville, and one we hope that our citizens will take to heart. Tonight we remind our citizens that a very precious and often overlooked natural resource is at our fingertips every day. It's drinking water. Until Thursday, May the 1st, our clean drinking water was not on the hearts and minds of most people who enjoy its daily benefits. As you can recall, on that day, Brownsville PUB, along with other water diverters along the Rio Grande River, we were notified by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality of the possible water contamination and confirmed fish kills near the Rio Salado on the river in northern Mexico. During that time, the Brownsville PUB did not waste a moment because we knew the importance of delivering a safe, reliable source of drinking water to our community, our friends, our neighbors, and our families. Wednesday afternoon, BPUB was moving forward on precautionary water measures and sourcing plans found in its drought contingency plan. The plan looks at stages of severe drought, and it also addresses contamination events. The contingency plan, located at our BPUB website so that everybody can see it, discusses what actions we're taking should there be a threat to our water quality and our water supply. Wednesday, BPUB teams mobilized immediately to ensure all reservoirs and Brownsville Resacas were topped off, and daily routine monitoring and river testing was stepped up. We do that every day anyway, but we went ahead and did it, and we also sent water samples to state labs to make sure that our water quality is still number one. Our goal was to ensure that the city will be able to subsist for 5 to 7 days without having to draw any water from the river if need be. That says something, since the Rio Grande supplies Brownsville with approximately 76% of its potable water. This month, we're going to be running ads, TV commercials, radio spots, and social media reminders about the importance of your drinking water and conservation. In addition, we'll mail out water quality reports to all our customers, as we do every year. My narrative today is not to pat BPUB on the back, but to let the people of Brownsville know that we are committed to delivering the safest, most reliable source of drinking water possible. We are serious about what we do, and we have the best trained people in the area to do it. Even though we invite our community to celebrate Drinking Water Month this month, I assure you, it is top of mind at Brownsville PUB every day. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much.
I did bring something for you.
Oh, how cute.
These are water conservation tips.
Oh, thank you.
They come with a low shower head. We're giving them out to new customers this time, so that our new customers will be able to conserve water.
Thank you, appreciate it.
It's super cute.
Thank you.
Use it as a dollhouse.
Take showers.
I'll give it to my daughter.
Our next proclamation is STEM Education Week from Harmony Schools. STEM Education Week. No one signed in for that? Our next proclamation is Elder Abuse Prevention Month.
You're the elder.
Oh.
Proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, proclaiming the month of May 2014 to be Elder Abuse Prevention Month in our city. Whereas people who are elderly or have disabilities have contributed to the general welfare of Brownsville, Texas by helping to preserve customs, convictions, and traditions of many people from diverse backgrounds. And whereas these residents are vital and integral members of our society, and their wisdom and experience have enriched our lives. And whereas abuse of the elderly and people with disabilities in domestic and institutional settings is a widespread problem affecting hundreds of thousands of people across the country. And whereas in 2013, there were 98,130 completed cases of elderly and disabled persons abuse in Texas, of which 59,210 were confirmed. And whereas elder abuse is grossly underreported because the elderly who are being abused find it very difficult to tell anyone and are usually ashamed and sometimes afraid. And whereas elder abuse happens to men and women of all income levels, all cultural and ethnic groups, whether they are in good health or incapacitated in some way, in poor neighborhoods and in suburbia. And whereas many of the cases investigated by Adult Protective Services in Texas involve self-neglect, and it is our duty as citizens to reach out to people in need. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the charter of said city, on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2014 to be Elder Abuse Prevention Month in our city, and urge all our citizens to work together to help reduce abuse and neglect of people who are elderly or have disability. Done this 6th day of May 2014, signed Antonio Martinez, the mayor, and the City Commission.
You all want to say anything?
Would you like to say something?
Hello, we are from Adult Protective Services in Brownsville, Texas, and on behalf of the department and Cameron County, we want to give you all thanks, the city commissioners and the city of Brownsville, for all your support. And we thank the community also for participating in our agency and reporting abuse and neglect of the elderly and disabled. Thank you so much.
Well, keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Our next proclamation is Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Month.
Where's the motorcycle?
Mayor, thank you also for co-sponsoring the proclamation, and I want to welcome all the riders that took time out of the different clubs to join us here today. And me being also an avid motorcycle rider, just need to take my own advice and wear my helmet sometimes. I forget to wear my helmet. But on that note, I'm going to start reading the proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, declaring the month of May as Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Month in our city. And whereas today's society is finding more citizens involved in motorcycling on the roads of our country, and whereas motorcyclists are roughly unprotected and therefore more prone to injury or death in a crash than other vehicle drivers. And whereas campaigns have helped inform riders and motorists alike on motorcycle safety issues to reduce motorcycle-related risks, injuries, and most of all, fatalities through a comprehensive approach to motorcycle safety. And whereas it is the responsibility of all those who put themselves behind the wheel to become aware of motorcyclists regarding them with the same respect as any other vehicle traveling in the highways of this country. And the responsibility of riders and motorists alike to obey all traffic laws and traffic and safety rules. And whereas we urge all our citizens of our community to become aware of the inherent dangers involved in operating a motorcycle, and for riders and motorists alike to give each other the mutual respect they deserve. Now therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, and on behalf of all our citizens, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2014 as Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Month in this city, and further urge all residents to do their part to increase safety and awareness in our community. And it's done this 6th day of May 2014, signed by Antonio Martinez, the Mayor of Brownsville, and the City Commission. Thank you.
Writing.
Congratulations. 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 Congratulations.
You'll have a wonderful ride, okay?
Congratulations. Congratulations.
We do want to thank you for allowing us to come share some time with you this evening. The way this took place, I'm with the Christian Motorcycle Association, and we're based out of Harlingen, but there was another group that called us, and they're Bikers for Christ, and they said, you know, we want to do this proclamation, but we can't do it because we're not from Brownsville. Well, I was born and raised in Brownsville, so when they put the call in, it really touched my heart because this is where I'm from. I said, so whatever I can do to help, I will do it. At that point, we just send out emails, and these are all folks from Brownsville, except for the exception maybe one, right, Nancy? So there's a passion because we rode down from the Harley shop this evening, and you can see people driving and texting. We need, this is, you know, I've always told people, they go, where are you from? Brownsville. I go, just picture the state of Texas. We're at the tip. And I've always been told that we should always start from the bottom up. So picturing the state of Texas, this is the group that said, yeah, we want to go, we want to be a part of it because we've got to start somewhere. I met a mother on Thursday. Her son was in a motorcycle accident and he lost a leg. I know another gentleman that lives out in Rancho. He got hit on his way to a meeting and he lost his leg. I met someone else on Thursday. They said, did you hear about that motorcycle accident on Boca Chica? The bike was on one side, the body was on the other side. And I said, no, but we need to make everyone aware that we're on a bike, that we shouldn't take human life for granted, that we just, whether it be by putting a poster on in your front lawn like we have, or whether it be just telling someone be careful, or telling someone, reminding, don't text and drive. You know, there's got to be a way. So I tell my children, we're a small family, and I tell them in Spanish, esta es mi familia. As motorcyclists, esta es mi familia. And we all want to watch out for one another. And coming before you, we're asking that you help us get that done for our community here in Brownsville. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Our next proclamation is weightlifting champions of various high school students from Brownsville.
Are they here?
Stand in the middle of
Strong people.
Okay, so I want to say congratulations to all of you. I was advised of your championship by one of your coaches, Tito Mata, who's a friend of mine. He couldn't be here tonight, but thank you so much for coming and allowing us to congratulate you. A proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing Brownsville students for medaling at the 2014 State Powerlifting Championship. Whereas 5 Brownsville Independent School District students from 3 Brownsville high schools with direction from Mark Guess, the athletic director, participated in the 2014 State Powerlifting Champions held on March the 14th, 2014 in Corpus Christi, Texas, and on March the 22nd, 2014 at the Taylor County Expo Center. And whereas Marianne Gonzalez, a junior student at Gladys Porter's High School, coached by Tito Mata Jr., medaled at the Corpus Christi Convention Center on March the 14th, 2014 by lifting 360 pounds in squat, 135 pounds in bench, and 295 pounds in deadlift, for a total of 790 pounds and placed 5th in the championship. And whereas Monica Gonzalez, a senior student at Veterans Memorial High School, coached by Gil Myers, medaled at the Corpus Christi Convention Center on March the 14th, 2014 by lifting 405 pounds squat, 160 pounds bench, and 350 pounds in deadlift, for a total of 915 pounds and placed 4th in the championship. And whereas Christopher Godoy, a senior student at Rivera High School, coached by Farley Trevino, medaled at the Taylor County Expo Center on March the 22nd, 2014 by lifting 565 pounds squat, 300 pounds bench, and 630 pounds deadlift, for a total of 1,495 pounds and placed 3rd in the championship. And whereas Alex Briseño, a senior student at Rivera High School, coached by Farley Trevino, medaled at the Taylor County Expo Center on March the 22nd, 2014 by lifting 775 pounds squat, 465 pounds bench, and 680 pounds in deadlift, for a total of 1,920 pounds and placed 2nd in the championship. And whereas Jacob Alanis, a senior student at Veterans Memorial High School, coached by Gil Myers, medaled at the Taylor County Expo Center on March the 22nd, 2014 by lifting 655 pounds squat, 340 pounds bench, 590 pounds in deadlift, for a total of 1,585 pounds, placed 4th in the championship. Now, therefore, we, the members of the Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, do hereby recognize and commend the students of Gladys Porter High School, Rivera High School, and Veterans Memorial High School for their successful participation in the State Powerlifting Championship in Corpus Christi, Texas, bringing honorable recognition to their high schools and to the City of Brownsville. Further, we encourage these students to continue in weightlifting sport, and we congratulate the talented and devoted coaches and athletic director for contributing to their students' outstanding performance. Done on this 6th day of May 2014, signed Antonio Martinez, the mayor, and the City Commission.
Congratulations. Don't break my hand. I'm just kidding. Congratulations. 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 That's awesome, you guys. Congratulations. They're so strong.
I'd just
and they
like
have
to say a
gentle
few words.
handshakes.
Mayor Martinez, commissioners, and members of the audience. It's my pleasure to recognize the Brownsville Independent School District, the Board of Trustees, the Superintendent, Carl Montoya, and our Athletic Director, Mark Guess, and Tito Mata. It's always been his dream to bring powerlifting to Brownsville. What was amazing to us was we've always known we have great talent, great students, great athletes, and to be able to take these fine ladies and gentlemen to compete at the state level. And being our second year, it was an honor to take them up there. And it was amazing when the other coaches came and asked where we were from, how long we had this program. And the program's been around for 2 years. And the other kids that we competed have been competing for 4 years. And they were just amazed, and they were impressed. And more importantly, they felt that all of these young men and ladies probably should have won the state championship if we had another couple of years. So they were just awed, and they had good sponsors, and I didn't realize that companies could sponsor these young ladies and young men. They had state sponsors that were sponsoring them. We didn't have any sponsors. We just had the Brownsville Independent School District that gave us the sponsorship. But just with the minimal suits and things that were given to us, it was up to these young men, young ladies, their dedication and their devotion to a sport, and made all of us in Brownsville very proud of who we are and what we did, what we accomplished. So I want to thank you for this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one quick question. Coach, can I just ask real quick, if anybody wants to sponsor them, who can they contact?
The BISD,
BISD?
Coach Guest.
Coach Guest, okay. Great, thanks.
Item 4, Brownsville Convention and Visitors Bureau Quarterly Report.
Good evening, City Commission, Mayor. My name is Miguel Callas with the Brownsville Convention and Visitors Bureau. I'm the Communication Director. Mr. Ayala couldn't be here today. He's doing a presentation, Tourist Ambassador presentation for the Junior Service League. We're going to be presenting our second quarter presentation, our quarterly report for January through March 2014. Our Board of Directors. As you know, the Brownsville Convention and Visitors Bureau is very heavily involved in promoting the community. Some of the involvement that we've had is with Holiday Village, Charo Days, the kayak races, and Ciclovia. We continue to promote all our festivals throughout the year. For this quarter, these are the ones that we were involved in and promoted heavily. Our advertising efforts continue to include state publications and regional publications. We had a couple of several write-ups actually on the official guide to the Rio Grande Valley, which is distributed to throughout the state of Texas. We also continue to advertise in statewide publications like Texas Monthly and regional publications such as the Bird and Butterfly Map, just to name a few. Our website this quarter saw 70% or 77% increase. That's partly due to our new redesign. We've made several improvements on the website where people can submit events without having to go through a sign-up process. This speeds up the process of people submitting events and getting them out to the public. Our newsletter has also increased its subscribers to about 600 people around the community now. And we continue to push out events as soon as we receive them. Our demographics stay consistent with Texas leading and in the state level, and Brownsville leading in the local level. Some of the conferences that we've attended and been participated in were the Texas Trail and Active Transportation Conference. We are currently seeking to bring that conference, as you know, Commissioner Gowan, to bring it here to Brownsville. Mr. Ayala also made me aware that when he approached the conference chair about bringing the conference down, Ms. Vasquez had already beaten him to the punch, which is good because it shows a collaborative effort with the city and the DCVB. Some other conferences that we attended were the National Association of Sports Commissions Conference and the TACVB Midwinter Conference. We continue to push through with the Tourist Ambassador Program. We've done several presentations this quarter. One of them was to the UT Port Aransas Road Scholars. They're a group of birders that came to Brownsville. They come several times throughout the year and stay for about 3 to 4 days at a time. We met them on a Sunday at the Homewood Suites and gave a presentation and gave them welcome bags to Brownsville. We've also done presentations for Holiday Village RV Park and Green Gate Grove as part of our Winter Texas Outreach program, which I'll get to in a minute. We also do. We've also done fam tours this quarter, starting with executives from Ariomar. We gave them a tour of Brownsville, all of the attractions that there is to offer here, as well as a blogger from Sweden that came and is going to do a write-up on some of the things Brownsville has to offer. We've also done the Red Hatters. We took them through the Midi Cultural District. We also did the Texas Travel Industry Association State Travel Counselors FAM Tour a couple weeks ago. We had a very positive response. I'd like to thank Cynthia Galvan from Gladys Porter Zoo and Mr. Pat Birchfield. Their staff, they did an excellent job collaborating with us, and we really kicked it out of the ballpark with this one. They were very pleased, and we got a lot of positive feedback. As part of that, also, we were involved with the conference that happened the day after that at South Padre Island. We set up a booth and we were giving away information about Brownsville to all the state travel counselors. As part of our Winter Texan outreach, the BCVB hosted a Brownsville Winter Texan Welcome Home event at the event center. We had several Winter Texans from around the valley come down and participate. We also did a Brownsville Winter Texan Expo at the Gladys Porter Zoo the following day. We've also started an initiative to visit all the RV parks, or many RV parks throughout the valley. We've visited 14 for this quarter, and we've reached out to many of the Winter Texans there, encouraging them to come down to Brownsville and see all the attractions and maybe stay a night or two. As you know, that's our main goal. Our walk-in report to the CVB, we had about 3,000 walk-ins into our information center, based on a formula that's provided by the Texas Department of Economic Development and Tourism. We generated a estimate about $1.4 million to the city. Our bulk mail, these are leads that we get from our advertising publications. We sell, every time we get a lead, we send out a visitor's guide, and we've done about 4,000 this quarter, which is a significant amount. Also, our tax report for the city, as you can see, year to date, we've increased in our taxes, meaning that there's revenue being generated through the stays at the hotels. And also the hotel's performance fact book for 2013. This is for fiscal year 2013. You can see that across the board we've had a slight increase, which reflects the tax report provided by the city, continuing to increase. That's it. Do you have any questions, concerns?
Thank you again.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 5, consent agenda items A
To approve
through
consent.
M.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item number 6, second public hearing and action on ordinance number 2014-1200-1.141, an ordinance annexing certain territory to the city of Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas, and extending the boundary limits of said city so as to include such property within said city limits and dealing with related matters.
Mayor, City Commission, this is the second hearing of a required 3 hearings. So there's 2 public hearings required, and the third one would be on June 6th in consent. So you previously approved this annexation request. There is a memo on your dais there explaining some details on the request. And we support the annexation, and we ask for your approval on the second reading. It is a public hearing, so we invite the public if they have any comments.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, Commission. My name is Jose Perez, and I'm here actually representing my father, who's about 83 years old, so he can't attend the meetings here. But all the ones that are requesting the annexation, there's about 6 different tracts of land there. They're owned by he owned it at one time, the whole tract. My father gave an easement to PUB when they needed to get to one of the colonias for water and sewer, or for sewer in that case. So he gave an easement for PUB to run and also put a lift station at the corner lot so they could provide service to the other colonia. And at that time, they provided a service tap for each individual tract. So each individual tract is the service tap for PUB ready to be used. The only thing is that the owners can't get a building permit unless it's in the city of Brownsville. And other than that, they can't get a building permit, and the easements and the PUB taps become useless to them. So I know there's people that are opposed to that, but they have the option of applying for an ag use of their property if they want to. These landowners here don't have any other option, and I believe it would be a win-win situation for everybody, because the other owners can actually apply for tax exemption in the agricultural use if they need to, or in the future, if it's already annexed, they'll actually benefit from that. Just being in the city, they want to develop or subdivide later on in the future, it's already in the city of Brownsville, it'll be much easier to work with, so they can actually benefit from that. And of course, the landowners can get their building permits. Sometimes when they're getting ready to build, they obtain building permits from the city of Brownsville. And of course, the city, when they start building, well, increase the tax base for the city of Brownsville as well. So with that in mind, I'll leave you members for that.
Okay, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Move to close.
I wanted just some clarification and some accuracy. The comment was that they cannot build because they cannot apply for a city permit. Is that true, or is it just that the county has regulations maybe that differ from the city?
Yeah, the county does have different regulations, and from my understanding is they're getting stricter on permitting and subdivisions. And not that the city's any less strict, but the county is being extremely strict in this case.
But
So-
to say that the city will not, that they cannot pull a permit out there from the city because it's in the county, it's not.
No,
it's not
they
accurate.
can't pull a permit from the county because it's not in the city.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work
Sorry,
vice
yeah,
versa.
that's
Yeah,
it, sorry.
yeah.
Okay, have a motion to
Move to
close?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Before the next item, I want to say, item 8 is that the zoning case on Alton Glor and Paredes that we were going to bring back today, but the owners are still not ready. So I'm going to ask you to table that
Table.
item 8.
Okay.
But after, so-
We need to read it.
Yes.
We need to read it first, then we can.
Yeah, we'll do number 7, and then we'll do 8.
Okay. Item 6. I'm sorry.
7.
Item 7. Public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 2014-1590, authorizing the city manager to abandon and close a portion of Lakeside Boulevard right-of-way located in the Brownsville Land and Improvement Company subdivision.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. In this area, we have a well-defined 64 right-of-way, and we also have a surplus right-of-way. Within the proposed abandonment, that's surplus right-of-way, we would retain sidewalk and utility easements. And in the past, the city has abandoned portions of that surplus right-of-way. Our department recommends approval to abandon.
What happens, I'm sorry, this is the first I've heard of this. What happens when you abandon it?
Basically, the person requesting the abandonment is going to compensate the city at a market value for the land. So basically, we're selling the right-of-way, the land.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Any comments? Not, I'll entertain a
Move to
motion.
close.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Move to
Motion.
approve.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 8, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 235-2014-007-S to allow apartment G classification and a dwelling Z classification for Lot 4, Tract 1 of 5.7 acres and Lot 4 and 7 of Tract 3 of 9.5 acres of Las Lagunas located near Paredes Line Road and Alton Glore Boulevard.
On the table.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Public comment?
Public comment, we have one public comment. That was a public hearing, so we need to close that hearing? Or do we need to continue it?
Lawyer, I think it was tabled.
Yeah.
It was tabled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No need for anything else?
There,
Okay.
yeah, you can't have a public hearing. It was tabled.
Item 10, consideration and action on resolution number 2014-039 to support Brownsville Navigation District's agreement for the development of port properties and operation of the railroad with Omnitracks at the Port of Brownsville.
Okay. I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 11, consideration and action to adopt budget amendment resolution number 2014-038 to amend the general fund budget to provide $115,000 for the East 11th Street buildings renovations.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Commissioners. The following item is for consideration is to provide general fund funding for the $115,000 for the 11th Street building renovations. And the funds for this, we're requesting to be used out of the AEP bond proceeds.
Move to approve?
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 12, consideration and action to adopt budget amendment resolution number 2014-040 to amend the general fund expenditure budget to provide $175,000 to the Public Transit Fund for the local share of the B Metro Parking Garage project.
Honorable Mayor, City Commissioners, this is a similar budget amendment request. The public transit is requesting a general fund transfer for local share to provide funding that's a shortfall for the B Metro parking lot. Funds for this is derived from the AEP lawsuit proceeds in the amount of $175,000.
Mr. Granado, how much is left of the AEP settlement funds? Do we have that amount?
I don't have that amount with me, but make sure to provide that information to you.
I'll make sure you get it before we run out.
Yeah.
Now, is this our local effort? I mean, in other words, this was the public transit fund for the B Metro Parking Garage project that was mainly paid by the federal government, no?
Correct. The last page on the document, there's a breakdown on the fund. The whole estimated project is about $5,960,000.
Right.
A portion is going to be funded out of the FTA grant revenues, and there has been monies allocated under COs and general fund monies, but because due to the cost of the project, there was a shortfall of $175,000 that we need to allocate in order for this project to be completely funded.
And that project's been on the books for just a little bit. When do they anticipate starting that, Andy?
I got Norma and Andrew that
I know.
have addressed
When is that thing, because everything, all the drawings and everything's ready, right?
Everything's correct. Everything's been submitted. The further agenda item, without the spoiler alert, item 12, I believe, 15 on the agenda item will be for the guaranteed maximum price for this project, for the parking garage.
Okay.
The $175,000 is to cover the shortfall on the project completion, which will cover the owner-provided items such as the security cameras, the testing of the concrete, as well as we need wind certification in order to get it insured. It'll cover the scratch testing for all the welds on all of the structural steel. These are owner-provided items that are not part of the GMP that we're going to present. It's that project shortfall that we're requesting funding for.
Okay, all right. And so the commission understands, this is like a 3-story parking lot that's right across the multimodal.
Correct. It'll be a 4-story level structure, 3 stories, 190 spaces for parking, and the first level will be about 9,800 square feet dedicated to office, restaurant, and retail space.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Would you approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 13, consideration and action to acknowledge the city's comprehensive annual financial report and single audit report for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2013.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission, this item will be presented by our auditor, Mr. Carlos Barrera, with Long & Chilton. If you don't have a report,
Everybody's leaving because you're presenting.
I
Carlos.
figured that was
I'm
gonna
just kidding.
happen,
I'm just
so.
kidding.
Look at those.
I'm just kidding.
We're just
Not
waiting
as
for
popular as
everybody
you used
show
to be, I
up.
guess.
We know how interesting accountants are.
It's 300 pages, I mean, it's gonna take some time. No, it won't. I'm gonna hit 6 pages. How's that?
All right, no.
Make it quick.
Just kidding.
Well, no, I'm not kidding, though. We're gonna hit 6 pages. And every year when I get up here, it's like a learning experience or a teaching moment for me, because I like doing that to governmental bodies, because there's so much to know about this financial statement. It's 300 pages. It's not exactly easy reading. So today I'm just going to talk about general fund. I'm not going to talk about anything else. So here are the 6 I'm going to talk about real quick. Page 17 is our auditor's opinion, and that's what you pay me for. And that is a clean opinion, an unqualified opinion. There's nothing qualified about it. Everything is clean. And if it weren't, you wouldn't be getting a GFOA certificate every year, and you've gotten one this last year, and you're going to go for how many now? 30? 36, 37. It's quite an accomplishment. Next thing I want to talk about is on page 45. And 45 is the general fund. And this is a real brief analogy of what it is and what you're looking at. So I'm not going to go through each one of these things, but you can see the revenues, you can see your property taxes, what they were, what your budget was, what your actual amount was, and how much you were over. If you look in the middle of that page, you see your total revenues were budgeted at $95.6 million. You ended up at 96.8, so you were $1.2 million ahead of budget on your revenue stream. On your expenditures, you did better. You budgeted 95 million and you ended up with 89 million. So you were 5 million, almost 6 million to the better there. So overall, right there, your revenues over expenditures, you actually were better off almost about 7.1 million. Flipping the page, there's also transfers from other funds. There's also transfers out to other funds. And so when you look at the end, you'll look at that actual amount, 4,230,000. That's really your true change in your fund balance, in your general fund. When you started with 20 million, we had a 330,000 prior period adjustment, which was a reclassification that we had to make. So you ended up with $24,860,000. Now, flipping back to page 36. Page 36 shows the actual general fund again, but it looks at a comparison basis from the 2013 year, which you just finished, and the 2012 year that you just had prior year. And you can see from your revenue stream, you did 4.1 million better in revenues. You had 1.7 million more in expenditures, but overall, that still meant 2.4 million. And you get down to the end, way on the bottom, you see that fund balance at September 30th, 24,860,000, as opposed to 20,960,000 the prior year. So 3.8 million, almost $3.9 million better. Now flipping to page 33, or flipping backwards, you can see your fund balances in all of your funds. In that first column, you'll see non-spendable, restricted, committed, and assigned fund balances. They all mean different things. And in the footnotes of the financial statements, you can get those descriptions. And then you'll see unassigned fund balance, and that's your free and clear fund balance. So you see that first line, Fund 01, which we're talking about right now. You had 8,086,000, 16,000,700 under unassigned, so a total of 24.8. And now, one better, because we're almost done. If you go to page 73, financial statements, one of the parts of the financial statements are the notes. And what we did different this year is we actually put a table of contents in the notes. So anything you want to learn or know about different aspects of the city's disclosures are all in here, and they're pretty descriptive. If you look all the way down to note 19, under fund balance assignment, if you go to page 129, and you look at that real quick, it starts with all of the funds, all of the fund numbers in the different classifications, capital projects, debt service. And you look on page 130, and there's your general fund. And you can see under general fund, it starts on page 130 and it goes all the way to page 131. And those are all your specific accounts within the general fund. And remember what I was saying before, you had all this non-spendable, restricted, committed, assigned. Well, all of those you can see all the way across. If you look at page 131 there, in the bottom, you'll see general fund. You had non-spendable of about 60,000, 1.5 in restricted, 3.3 in committed, assigned 3.1, and 16.7 in your total unassigned. And that's your 24 million. So you see how they all flow around. The general fund is probably the most concerning because that's where most of what's pretty much the majority of where your operations come from. But of course there's business type activity funds, which are proprietary funds, and fiduciary funds as well. We're not going to go into that, but they're all there. The best way to review these things, and I always tell the boards, don't try to go back into the funds and try to read them. You'll get lost, because I do as well. The best way to go is when you get to your financial section, right after our report, it starts with something called Management's Discussion and Analysis on page 21. For the next few pages thereafter, that gives you a very good bird's eye view, and actually very detailed view of everything that went on within the city during that fiscal year and how you progressed and how you compared to the prior 2 years. So the last thing I just want to let you know that we already hit everything I want to talk about. We do have a single audit section, which is in the back, because the majority of what we do under an audit is single audit, and that's compliance reporting. It's us having to go back and look at federal and state funds and determining whether or not you have issues or not. We did have a finding. It's the same finding we had in the prior year. Did concern home. We've already discussed that. You do have a response in there, and you are taking care of it. There are no question costs which means there's no money that we think you need to give back to anybody. Other than that, it was a clean audit, and so it's pretty much my report.
Very good.
Pretty clear.
Acknowledge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Carlos.
Item 14, consideration and action to acknowledge the financial statements and cash investment report for the City of Brownsville for the second quarter ended March 31st, 2014.
Honorable Mayor, City Commissioners, in front of you have a binder on this. This is pretty much the detailed financial statement for a period second quarter ended March 31st. I prepared a PowerPoint presentation, try to brief as much as possible. We have the unaudited financial statements for the second quarter ended March 31st. Financial highlights, we have a 0.8% increase in the tax levies compared to last year's. Sales tax are exceeding last year's numbers by 4.5%, but only exceeding the budget projections by 3.93%. Based on the receipts of the second quarter fiscal year, bridge revenues are 28.83%, but only exceed the budget by 3.75%. We budgeted basically the same amount last year as we did this year. Unemployment rate continues to go down. As average for March 2014 is 10.2%. Hotel motel tax receipts are 9.17 above same period as last year. Utility expenses are a little bit high. We're looking into this and trying to determine why they're a little bit higher than usual. Building permits have decreased 29.5% more than the same period last year. Talking to a buildings permit director, the only couple of things to look at is Walmart will be developing, and that fee is going to be coming in next month or so. And there's a development, significant housing development that's in the works that hopefully will minimize this decrease. We have the general sales tax comparison chart there. You can see on there, as far as year-to-date actuals, we're above 568,000 compared to last year. We have a bar graph on the sales tax for last fiscal years. We anticipate that we will meet budget, maybe be slightly higher than actual budget if the trend continues. Veterans Bridge, similar. We have actual year-to-date 165 more than last year, but budget, because we budgeted the same amount, we're only up 26,000. Again, we have the bar graph of the contributions we get from the Veterans Bridge. We anticipate to meet the budget right here, so put us more in line with the 2011, 2012 monies. This is a building permit where we show a decrease in the permit valuations. The main decrease is a new commercial. I believe we're working and trying to attract a new commercial right now, so we could kind of minimize that decrease on there. This is a building permits values for last fiscal year. Of course, since 2011, they're decreased. We're hoping that we at least meet 2012, 2013 revenues. Unemployment rate, reserve. Here we have the statement of revenues, expenditure, and change in fund balance. Have the various revenues on here with a percentage. This next bar graph represents that same thing. The major items on here to look at is your property taxes, fees and services. Fees also have to do with the franchise fees, sales tax. Amended budget is the blue, and then green is the actual through March 31st. This is a comparison between the same period as last year through March. You could see property taxes have increased, sales tax increased. Fees and service had decreased a little bit because franchise fees have not been recorded to date, but and PUB cash transfer has slightly increased compared to last year. The expenditures for the general fund, you'll see the by function on here. Again, there's a bar graph represented here. This is a budget in blue, and in green you have the actuals. On here, the lungs are under 50% here. We're fine. On this sanitation amount, this is because we have all our plastic bag projects included on here. They vary from year to year. So right now we have more expenditures, but these amounts get budgeted at the end of the year. Again, the comparison between March 31st for the same period of time, we have slight increases in public works, sanitation, public culture and recreation, about the same. Public safety is the one that has a slightly increase, and this is due to grants that they didn't have last year and they have this year. This is the fund balance classifications. So we have an assigned amount, committed, restricted, unspendable, total of $8,355,000. Balance sheet for the general fund, we have total assets, fund balance of $45,919,000. General fund, fund balance budget summary. Basically, this is the fund balance beginning of year, all budgeted and budget amendments, less all your expenditures. We anticipate to have a fund balance at September 30, 2014 of $16,595,000. That's a little bit less than our fund balance of 17%, which is 16.67%. Convention and Tourism Fund, we have we have revenues under expenditures $572,000. This is because we haven't done a general fund transfer on here. Community Development has a fund balance of $885,000. Non-bonded debt, fund balance of $11,809. General bonded debt service fund has a fund balance of $3,921,188. Landfill has revenues in excess of expenses through March of $78,000. Fund balance of March of $534,000. Airport fund has a deficit through March 31st of $75,444. This fund, we're observing it because there is on their budget, they anticipated to have a sale of building that would help out in the revenue section. If that sale of building doesn't come through, there would be additional general fund transfer, about $800,000 to $1 million that would be necessary to continue operations of this department. A bridge fund, $1,329,000. Motor vehicle parking system, there is a slight deficit, but we're anticipating revenues will be increasing. Public transit always operates at a deficit. You get your operating revenues, the operating expenses, loss of $2,013,000. FTA covers half of it. The other half is shared by or covered by rental revenues, advertising. The state assists us with a big amount and a cash transfer from general fund. Golf course has a slight decrease on there with general fund transfer still pending at $366,000. Medical insurance, we have right now in excess of contributions over expenses of $1,335,000. There are claims towards the end of the year. We got to monitor this because this is pretty much the amount that we have claims that go through at the end of the year. And the deposits and investments on March 31st of $67,610,000.
Would acknowledge?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Lupe.
Item 15, consideration and action to authorize restated amendment number 1 for the guaranteed maximum price for construction of the Brownsville Parking Garage project for B Metro Services.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. As you're aware, Andrew is the project manager for this project for our department, and I'll let him make the presentation.
Thank you. Mayor, Commissioners, we are proposing for your approval for the guaranteed maximum price that Spoglass presented. Spoglass is our construction manager at risk for this project. They are presenting after bid an amended GMP in the amount of $5,890,943. Again, the structure is a four level, 190 spaces, 9,800 square feet, dedicated to office, retail, and additional uses. Excuse me. The original GMP that we proposed 2 years ago was $4.1 million. We did the 14th Street enhancements between Elizabeth and Washington. We did that because of expiring grant funds. That was supposed to be the last phase of the project, so we amended that in the amount of $329,947. The GMP came to $4,429,947. Based on the bid plus the $4.1 million, the added scope to the GMP, the amended GMP is $1,460,996. We're presenting a GMP and a final GMP for construction at $5,890,943. Staff recommends approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Item 16, consideration and action to award a contract for street paving and drainage improvements for Navarra and Toledo Street.
Honorable Commissioners, good evening. This item is to award a contract for paving and drainage improvements for Navarra and Toledo Streets to Arco Construction of Brownsville, Texas. The contract amount is $683,530.90. I recommend approval of this item.
Approved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Carlos.
Adjourned. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.